Grounded Boeing jets can now fly again.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by the United States Postal Service, offering postage stamps for purchase at more than 40,000 supermarkets, drugstores, office suppliers, and wholesale clubs. And by C3.ai. C3.ai software enables organizations to use artificial intelligence at enterprise scale, solving previously unsolvable business problems. Learn more at C3.ai.
I'm David Brancaccio. U.S. regulators this morning cleared Boeing 737 MAX to fly once again. The plane had been grounded after a pair of deadly crashes, revealed design flaws and trouble in the air certification process. Marketplace's Nova Safo is here live with more.
Right, the Federal Aviation Administration is requiring that MAX planes that have already been built and delivered undergo software modifications to the automatic anti-stall system called MCAS. That system was faulted for the pair of crashes 2 years ago that killed 346 people. The modifications will, among other things, prevent MCAS from overriding pilot commands repeatedly and pointing the plane's nose down. Also, MAX pilots will be required to get new simulator training. Boeing had wanted to avoid that to help control costs for airlines. It was a key selling point for the MAX initially. So that's a significant change, David, that pilots, in fact, will need to simulator training to fly the new plane.
But as a practical matter, when can passengers find themselves on one of these MAXs?
Well, the FAA stressed in a statement that the planes won't be back up in the sky right away. The FAA needs to sign off on each pilot training program run by a U.S. airline using the MAX plane. Each of those airlines also have to complete the required maintenance of these planes. So American Airlines says it's planning to resume MAX flights at the end of December. Southwest says it'll be in the spring or summer of next year. Also, there are hundreds of parked planes that will need to be inspected by the FAA, David.
Nova, thank you. Home Depot yesterday, this morning, Lowe's, each reporting better than expected profits. Lots of home improvement going on for people who managed to keep their family income flowing during pandemic. But as they say, winter is coming. We got Marketplace's Andy Euler on this one.
Home Depot told investors that this summer people spent a lot on big-ticket items, things like riding lawnmowers and outdoor power equipment. But as Sonia Lipinski at Alex Partners points out, companies can't count on these one-time purchases in the future.
How are they going to keep engaging and expanding their consumer base? Because a lot of these things are one-time deals, and there's only so much we can improve and fix up.
She says as long as we're stuck at home improvement retailers should be in good shape. But Neil Saunders at Global Data says in the fourth quarter, the growth rates may come down a bit.
Because obviously we're not going to spend as much on the garden, which has been a big area of home improvement spending over the summer months. And as it gets into winter, people just don't spend as much time outdoors.
Though he says some restaurants and bars will be making improvements to keep customers eating outdoors through the winter. And those business owners also go to places like Home Depot and Lowe's looking for lumber and lights and heating lamps to retrofit their operations. I'm Andy Euler for Marketplace.
The business media have started talking once again about the Dow Jones Industrial Average might cross above 30,000 for the first time, maybe this week. The last time they started jumping up and down about this was mid-January of this year, but I was in a don't count your chickens before they hatch mood, and I remarked at the time on this program that markets are hard to predict and you never know. Dow at 30,000 could still be a while, I said. Well, what happened on January 23rd? The city of Wuhan, China was the first to lock down, and the Dow is still not at the milestone. The Dow's at 29,783 now, with the Dow future at the moment up 158 points, 0.5%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by HIMSS, offering men access to licensed medical professionals online who can evaluate conditions including hair loss, mental health, and more. If appropriate, prescription products can be purchased and shipped direct. More at forhims.com/2020. And by Progressive Insurance, offering a way to buy home insurance with their Home Quote Explorer tool. Custom quotes and rates are available online. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Now that's Progressive. And by Indeed, committed to helping businesses find quality candidates so managers can hire the person who is a good fit. More at Indeed.com/credit.
When Chinese manufacturers were hit by the pandemic this year, they'd already been dealing with higher U.S. tariffs on billions of dollars worth of their exports. With Joe Biden as president, there's no indication this will change anytime soon. Here's our China correspondent, Jennifer Pack.
When we visited the Changjian factory more than a year ago, every pair of shoes sewn here in southern China was sold to America. Once its products were subject to an extra U.S. tariff, the company boss Tony Teng shifted manufacturing to the firm's other factories.
Most of our production has moved out of China to Cambodia and Vietnam.
But even moving to low-cost countries in Southeast Asia can be expensive. So manufacturers who can only afford to stay in China, like EMC Machinery, sometimes just pay the tariffs to retain American customers, says overseas sales manager Li Yansong.
For the U.S. tariffs, we sometimes split the extra costs with our clients and make less profit on the transactions.
Other exporters make it worthwhile for Americans to pay the extra tariffs by upgrading their products or services. Claudia Zhou, with a metal and plastic parts manufacturer, says the firm tries to attract and retain American customers by providing more efficient service.
Clients can upload diagrams of what customized parts they want. Our online system quotes them a price almost right away. The whole ordering process can be done in a day rather than a week.
Exporters not subject to American tariffs are also revising their business plans. Initially, the U.S. Trade Representative wanted to place additional duties on medical syringes. Didn't happen. But during that period of uncertainty, medical equipment supplier Miao Liping lost his biggest American client to a company in South Korea. He says he doesn't ever want to rely totally on the U.S. market.
We've switched our focus to Europe and the domestic Chinese market because of the impact of the U.S.-China trade war.
And this business plan won't change, even with a new president coming in January, he says, because he thinks U.S.-China relations will remain tense. In Shanghai, I'm Jennifer Pack for Marketplace.
And the FDA, late yesterday, approved Lucira Health's test kit for COVID, where people can check at home without having to send out the samples, swizzle the swab in a little vessel, stick it in the handy unit, and an LED light glows, ready, done, positive or negative, 30 minutes. This could take pressure off overburdened COVID testing facilities, but there's concern if people test positive at home, public health authorities may never know. I'm David Brancaccio, Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.